everybody, and welcome back to the Daily Creative Challenge. I'm your host, Kladi, and I'm here on day 3 for these 2 weeks of creative challenges. And by the way, if you're watching from YouTube, make sure to head on behance.net/live. This is the place where I can see the chat, which is already in party mode. I was like, you guys already started without me. But nice to see everybody here. I can see familiar faces and new faces. So let me know where you're watching from. I am an Italian designer. And by the way, I want to share something cool with you before jumping into Illustrator. Today, I actually have been naturalized British, so my intro is going to change. I'm the Italian-British designer based in Manchester, UK, where I run my studio, Printmysoul, but most importantly, where I have the honor and fun to run the amazing creative challenges in Adobe Illustrator at Adobe Live. We're gonna have fun learning new techniques and skills in Adobe Illustrator. So let me tell you where is the main landing page where you can learn more about the challenge before we dive into the actual Illustrator app. And while you get there, I'm also going to say hi to whoever is in the chat right now. So let's jump into my screen so you can see the wonderful landing page, and which is behance.net/challenge/illustrator. Here it is. You can find it right here. I can see a lot of congratulations. Thank you so much, everybody. Slides in the party. Yes. Elizabeth, Kingsley. Thank you so much. Mendoa, Barbara, we can see from Music City, Nashville. Fantastic. That's so amazing. Debbie Holt, Richard, Megan, Steve Festus. Nice to see you. Nice to have you here. So amazing to see the familiar faces that join us during the challenges, but also welcome to everybody who is joining us here for the first time. Nick Nisita, thank you so much for joining us. And we got 3 Zamora from Hawaii. Viola say congratulations. Thank you. That was like such a big deal. Fabio, grazie. Right, fantastic. Let's get to business because we have a lot to do here. And as usual, those streams are packed with new information. So either if you're a beginner or if you're a professional, this is the right place for you to build a new portfolio pieces and learn new techniques. Scroll down from this wonderful, useful page in order to unlock our second challenge. Today, we'll be creating icon. So if you haven't followed from the very first stream, don't worry, that's absolutely fine. We are creating different marketing materials about a shop. It can be any shop. I decided to go for a gift shop, but again, you can use pretty much anything you want. And most importantly, you can get a starter file, so you can already get free templates simply by clicking on Get Started. By doing so, you're going to land on this page where you can either copy your work, which will be added into your library, or click on the actual file called Kladi 2 Icon Design and then simply click on Download. And I'm going to give you a little bit of time to do that. So remember, all you have to do is to head to the landing page, behance.net/challenge/illustrator. Challenge number 2, icon design. We're going to be using simple shapes to create anything we want. That's the entire goal, and that's the beauty of Illustrator. Also, if you just want to follow along and watch the video and then have a play with Illustrator in a second time, don't forget that those streams are recorded. You can always click on watch videos to watch the replay as well. Right, so hopefully by the time that right now everybody is downloading the file, I want to share with you real quick 2 ways in which you can share your work. How do you share the challenges? Where the very first place where you would like to share it is our community chat, Discord. By clicking on the link here, or also accessing the bit.ly/AI, that's an A and capital I, Discord, you will be landing in the wonderful world of our Discord. Discord is our chat, and just below here, behind my head, right there, you can see that we have a feedback challenge channel, and in there you can submit your work in order to receive feedback from the wonderful mentors and moderators, and of course the beautiful Adobe team there to share advice, share techniques. And of course, Discord is a great place where you can just say hi and get your network going, and of course grow your skills together. We have 1,500 people and more already in Discord, so make sure to join the Discord and get that going. And we can see here all the previous social media assets that we created yesterday and the gift shop. So, oh, those look gorgeous. So beautiful, Sibenin, fantastic. I look forward to review them as well. But I'm going to show you towards the end of the stream how you can actually submit the work. The other place, of course, where we encourage you to share your work is your Behance page. Hopefully today I have a lot to show you as usual, but hopefully we're going to have time to create the new project as well. All you have to do is to simply head into your Behance profile, and from there click on create a project. So I'm just going to do that, and then I'm going to show you how to share the assets at the end of the stream. Fantastic. But hopefully by now everybody gets the starter file ready to get going, and let's jump into Illustrator. So once we open Illustrator, if you have downloaded that file, this is kind of the way that it's going to look like. I'm saying kind of because I'm aware that your theme, it's all black and white, and in just a second I should be bringing back to the way that it looks, and you only also have just one set of artboards there. If you don't know much about artboards and it's the first time that you're playing around with artboards in Illustrator, make sure to go and check yesterday's stream available for replay. We talk a little bit more now to access artboards and change their size, rotate them, and all that good stuff. So also, if you don't know that, real quick, the artboard tool is just sitting here at the bottom of the toolbar, and you can access it also with the Shift-O shortcut. Let me see real quick in the chat if there is any question. Carol, nice to see you. April, I had to refresh to get the chat. What happened? Where we're congratulating Kladi. Where they're congratulating on my British dual citizenship, because everybody is super, super amazing. Thank you so much. I love this wonderful community. I'm so honored to be here all the time. Fantastic. So let's get going. So the goal today is to create those little highlights, and I have another little trick up my sleeve for you. Let's see if that works. I actually we're gonna go into my mobile. Hopefully nobody calls. But yeah, we're gonna access my mobile real quick. And from there, can you see those little highlights there? I'm going to show you today how to create those little icons for the highlights, and hopefully how to add them as well for your Instagram channel. So if you have a shop or anything like that, you'll be able to create a very consistent look thanks to Illustrator. So let's get started. Before getting there, what I want to show you is that the beauty of Illustrator is that really we can do anything just by really playing with simple shapes. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you a little preview of the final results. My shop, as you know probably already, I love plants, and I decided to create some icons that will represent the different topics of the shop. So it could be plants, it could be and highlights just for sales, and you know, maybe love messages or stationaries, you know. So those are the ones that we're going to be creating. I have also named the artboard, so Shift-O to access the artboard to give you different ideas. So the one that we're going to be today are sale, plants, messages, and stationery. But there are also more. So you can do something about travel, music, pets, and plants. So again, this is just up to you. What I want to show you is the power of creating all these amazing little icons that we're going to use just by starting from a circle or a square or a triangle. But let's get started with the little sale sign. All we have to do here, and by the way, if you're wondering what is the size and why those artboards are sized this way, this is the size of an Instagram story. So that's 1920 by 1080. Again, it's Shift-O to access the artboard tool, select the artboard and click on return, and you will see that the width is 1080 by 1920. And that's because usually the story also takes the same size from the highlight. It can be used from the actual story size itself, but you can also use a square of 2000 by 2000 pixels. So if you wish to do so, all you have to do is to click on the artboard tool and then press the space bar and move in order to click and move in order to pan around inside your pasteboard, and then click and drag to create a new artboard. Click return to access the artboard options, and here simply input 2000 by 2000 pixels. Now, if you're working and starting from scratch with a new document, don't forget to select the intent for web. That will change your resolution to 72 dpi, but most importantly will allow you to work in RGB, which is the color space for web. But let's get started with our cute icons. Let me know in the chat, do you want to start with the sail, the plants, the stationery? What should we do? Let me know in the chat. I want to know. I'm going to start by the, let's do this. I'm going to start with the sail because I think that's very important, and pretty much like can be used cross side with no matter what shop or no matter what you do, you know, if you want to promote, that's I think is very useful. But then let me know. I'm going to check the chat and wait, I'm going to leave it up to you to tell me which one is the second one. So it looks like plant is the one to go. Right, let's get going. So in order to create the sail, I'm going to go ahead and select the little square here and hold the option key and drag to create a copy. Now the reason why I'm creating a copy is because I want to use the shapes and leave them there as a reference. And then all I'm going to do is to simply click and drag one of the bounding box little box here that you see at the bottom in order to transform our square into a rectangle by making it longer. And then I'm going to press the letter P to access the pen tool. I'm going to zoom in for you to see what's going on in here. Make sure that your shape is selected, and you will see that when you hover with the pen tool on the actual shape, and most importantly, when you move around, you'll be able to intersect it into the middle. A little plus icon will appear next to the pen tool. That is telling us that we are actually now adding a point inside our shape simply by clicking on it. So make sure that the plus is there and click once to add a new point. If you don't see the plus, you probably add a point outside, and you know we don't want that. What we're looking for is to add the point inside our shape. Then press the letter A to access the direct selection tool. Click once to select that single vector point, and just simply use the top key with the shift key in order to make proportionally faster the way that you are increasing the movement. And we just started already creating that tag little shape. And then I'm going to go ahead and create a duplicate with the circle by selecting, holding the shift key, bringing it inside, and then use shift and option. Those are going to be shift and alt if you're working on Windows, in order to change its size and shrink it proportionally to the center. So shift will keep the proportion and alt will keep the center. So look what happens if I let go of the alt. It just shrinks it to that corner. With the alt key or option key on a Mac will also keep the proportions. Fantastic. So now we have the little hole inside here for the little tag. Click and drag on both the shapes, head to the properties panel and select align to the center horizontally in order to make sure that they're aligned. Then I'm going to quickly jump into the Pathfinder and use our exclude to make sure that now we have a cutout. So look what happened. If I move it away, we create a cutout. And therefore, if I change the color here by switching with the fill and stroke control, I'm going to switch the black inside and use the white as a stroke. We can see clearly that we have a little hole there. If you want to get rid of the stroke, simply head on the stroke control, and then you can either press the slash key, or I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. Just click on the none little icon up there, which is the white box with the red slash. Fantastic. So once we do that, I'm going to zoom out. All we're left to do is I'm going to first click and drag by holding shift in order to rotate my little tag. Press the letter T to select the type tool. Click once or click and drag to create a type box. Remember, if you click once, you create a point type that will just simply fit the type box to your text. If you click and drag, you have a type area that is more flexible and will allow you to also change the size of the box. See what happens if I have a box, I can resize the box itself. If I double click and transform it into a point, I am changing the size of the text. And remember, to make sure to change it proportionally, hold shift. And again, you can change in between a point type and an area type at any time. So here I'm just going to type the word sale and then the percentage, just to let everybody know that we're working on sale. From the properties, that we're talking about the sale in our highlights. From the properties panel, I'm going to change the fill colors to white or whatever other color you prefer. And then I'm also going to make the text a little bit bigger, like something like 110 should do. And then again here, I'm going to move my text inside and double click on this little handle on the right to transform it into a point type. And by holding shift, I can resize it proportionally. Then click and drag to select both elements. And now we can center vertically and horizontally. And I'm going to just move it a little bit more to this side. Once you're done, click and drag to select them both. Control G on Windows, Command G on a Mac to group these two elements in one single selection. This is going to allow us to now resize. Again, remember, shift to resize proportionally, just like so. And then all we have to do, if you want to just create a little bit more of the quirky look that I was going for, like an hanging tag, just click and drag left or right, so up and down, in order to change the rotation of our tag. And that's one done. Let's focus on the plant real quick. Time is going too fast. I'm going to do just the plant, but again, you have all of this, and I'm going to post it on Discord so you can have these different examples. For the plant, all I did is to, again, create a duplicate of the square. And then in this case, I went to the three dots. It went to the flyout menu and select the advanced menu that will change our toolbar and expand us and give us more tool, and also give us access to the transform tool. From here, I will select the perspective distort, which allows me to change the size prospectively of just one of the side of our square. And then I'm just gonna make it smaller. For the leaves, believe it or not, guess which shape we're gonna be used? A square. So the plant is all made by squares, just transformed. And I'm going to create another square and then just make it a little smaller, and that will be the stem of my plant, just like so. And for the leaves, well, we're going to use a square. Again, scale it proportionally if you would like to. And then we're going to go ahead and work on this little corner widget. But first, press the letter A to select the direct selection tool so we can just access directly each single widget. If you do not select it with the direct selection tool, then all of them will change at the same time. But in this case, I'm going to select one and then its opposite corner. So hold Shift and select its opposite corner. And look what happens here. We create a leaf in just few seconds. Plants are cool. I absolutely agree. And all you have to do here is now hold the Option key and just create a little repetition there if you want to. And then you can change size, resize them if you want, or just keep them the same. I liked to, maybe just give it a little bit of a different size. And you don't have to be proportional in the way that you use your corner, because nature is beautiful because everything is different. But then you can just simply select your three leaves, press Command C to copy, Command F to paste them front, and here under properties, we're going to be able to flip them horizontally. So with the flip horizontally, boom, we just create perfect copy there. Right, so I would strongly recommend to use a specific theme. And by the way, look what happened. I just moved my artboard. Remember, if that happens to you as well, just press the S key and your artboard rotation is going to go back to 0. Now, what I was going to say is that I selected and I used that theme because I will strongly recommend you either to create your own theme or maybe to head on color.adobe.com. And from there, you can go ahead and, for example, click on Explore and choose any color palette that you want. Of course, you can, I'm going to press the word gift because my shop is a gift shop to have some suggestions. Once you find a color palette of your like, you can add it to your library. Here you see the name of the library that it will be added into. And of course, you'll find it right away inside your libraries panel. Here it is. So easy to use. Now, the reason why I will suggest you use a theme is because the most beautiful thing in order to keep your theme consistent, remember we talked about branding so many times, is to use the same theme over again in order to have a nice recognizable look. So that's a way to access it. And then in order to apply the color from the library, simply select on the objects that you would like to apply the color to, and then you can directly apply the color from the library. Right, so what I've done here is also use the circle mainly as a reference, so I know that everything is aligned to the center. So whenever you're done, you can click and drag and scale and add the circle. And don't forget to head to your properties panel and make sure to click to align to artboard in order to align everything horizontally and vertically, so you know that everything is at the center of your story size. To export, because we're exporting for screen, we can use the amazing shortcut, which is the Alt-Control-E if you're working on a Windows. That will be Alt-Command-E if you're working on a Mac. And my eye caught Alex Lazari in the chat. Ciao, Alex, nice to see you. So Option-Command-E. And from the export for screen, you'll be able to select any of the artboard that you would like to export. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and select just the one that we've done at the bottom that we're ready to go. Also, just simply click on the little folder to select a destination folder on your desktop. And from here, you can select choose. And then if you want to create a subfolders, that's really useful if you have multiple files. I'm going to go ahead and deselect the one that I do not want to export. Click on export artboards in order to have a copy, just like so. And as you can see, the folder will open up, and here we have our wonderful asset. But I've got 2 minutes to show you how to add it on your Instagram, because that's like one of the trickiest questions. How do you do that? Right, so let's see if we can just do that in a minute. Let me jump into my phone real quick. Make sure nobody call me, Alex. Don't call me. I'm just joking. I don't even know if he has my number. But from here, let's jump into my mobile. Here it is. And all you have to do is to scroll at the very end of your story and create a new story. Now I'm just going to use one of the random stories here, probably most likely about DCC. It doesn't really matter. You can use whatever stories you want for this purpose. And hopefully internet is going to help us to do that. Let's see. I'm gonna jump real quick into my screen again to see what's going on. I believe it's my internet working against our time, but we're gonna make this happen. We're gonna make this happen. So let's see if that works right now. Again, all I did is create new to add a new story, and here it is. It looks like it's working. So I'm just going to go ahead and select any of the story here about the DCC, create next, press on next to create a new story, and click on edit cover. Then select this little image here at the bottom left, and you will be able to select any of the images that we have created. So for example, the little plant, click on done and done again, and you can call this one plants, and click on add. And once you do so, you will see now, if we go to the very top of my Instagram, that will be the icon for my story. And you can personalize yours as much as you want. So make sure to, I look forward to see yours. If you want to submit them for Discord and for your Behance page, the best way to do so is to create a new artboard. And remember, for Behance, the most important thing is to have an artboard of a width of 1,400 pixels. It doesn't really matter the height, but the width is very important, so you can have a nice full screen images there. Click on return to accept the changes, and then all you have to do is to select all the lovely icons that you created, whatever works for you, as many as you want. You can just do one, you can just do two. I'm just very curious to see what are the sort of assets that you're going to creating. And by the way, I'm doing something silly here. It's much better if you select them all together, Alt Option or Alt, and then resize them all together, so you know they will have all the same size. And then when you're done, you can again export, Option Command E to export your folder. In this case, I'm going to just to export this one here for Behance. I'm going to call her Behance and just simply place it into my desktop. I got 1 minute, we can do this. And again, I'm going to jump here into my Behance, click on image from the new create project, and here we have it. Click on open and it will be loaded, and you will be able to share your project. Now, don't forget also to share it into Discord. Super easy here. Click on the plus icon, just located at the bottom of the screen, and from here you can upload a file just exactly the same that we were using for Behance. Is absolutely fine. Of course, feel free to ask any question and any feedback you may like, name it, challenge them to, whatever you want. But as usual, it's an absolute pleasure to spend my time here with you. Crystal, Stony, C. Festus, Kingsley, thank you so much to everybody for joining us. And don't forget, if I know it went fast, but you can catch the replay. So I'll see you tomorrow, and stay tuned for more fun here at Adobe Live. You have time for a cup of tea or a glass of water, and then more fun at Adobe Live. Stay tuned, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.